Okay, let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Zach Talks Tech, where it's about the community, engagement, and conversation we're having here about the tech that you love. This is the Vivo Nex, specifically called the Vivo Nex S model. There's an A model, this is the S model. This is the model that has an in-display or under-glass fingerprint sensor, along with something a little bit new. It's a full screen display with a pop-up module that comes out of the top there that acts as your forward selfie camera, which eliminates the need for a notch, which we're seeing on pretty much all Android OEMs this year, with the exception of maybe brands like Samsung, for example. Now, full disclosure, I did purchase this phone completely outright with my own money through GearBest. So I'm certainly not the first person to bring this phone in and do an unboxing and whatnot, but I'm going to be giving this phone a full 60-day review. So come along with me as I do a quick unboxing of this, and we'll set up the fingerprint sensor, give you guys kind of a quick tour, my quick impressions of the device here, and I'll also give you an idea as well how I'm going to be evaluating this device over the next 60 days. Come on, let's do this. Here we are, this is the Vivo Nex. As you can see, it is a full screen phone here. There is no notch or anything like that. It has an in-display or under-glass fingerprint reader here, which means there's nothing on the back except for basically the camera modules. You can see here, ultra full view display here. Elevating camera view, that's what they call it here. Qualcomm 845, that's in here, so it's the newest chipset, and there are 8 gigabytes of RAM along with 128 gigabytes of storage space. All right, let's get into this here outside. So we have the phone right here. I'm just gonna pull this up and put the phone off to the side just for a moment here. Inside here, you're going to get some earphones here from Vivo, very much look like EarPods. These will be connected via regular headphone jack because the Vivo Nex still here has a headphone jack, so that's quite nice. This is an international plug-in here, so I'm actually going to have to use an adapter and plug this in. Buying from GearBest was actually quite nice because they actually did throw in this adapter piece right here. So basically, extend out that piece here, plug it in, and basically there's my plug-in. Now that is quite large, so I will be using my own separate third-party plug-in to charge up this device. They give you this nice soft touch case here. It's just a thin case here, nothing special. Got some, there's not even cutouts, basically it's just rubberized buttons here. I'm not sure if I'll use that on the device, but quite nice there to protect the back. We'll put that off to the side. We have our SIM ejection tool and a basic startup guide. Put that off to the side. And this right here is the USB-C cable. As you can see here, it's USB Type-C. In my past Vivo devices, if you guys have seen with the X21, the X20, this was actually micro USB. So it's nice to see that Vivo has gone with USB Type-C and kind of caught up to the game with everybody else. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and put this all back here and take a look at the phone. Inside here is the Vivo Nex. Let's see, I don't even have to peel this off. I just have to pull that right out. And there it is right there, full screen. You can see on the back here. Now on the back of the device, we have a 12 megapixel and a 5 megapixel camera. This one's used for depth, and the 12 megapixel is your main shooter, so they're kind of doing the whole depth thing. And you can see that kind of unique colorized look on the back here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a bit of a screen protector on the back here. I will take this off, and Vivo does put a screen protector pre-installed here. You guys can kind of see the edge right here. I will peel that off as well. Let's go ahead and power this up. I'm going to walk you guys through the fingerprint sensor and setting that up, and give you kind of my initial impressions here. Nex, powered by Android. So that was cool. Alrighty. Now this is running on Android. It is using the latest version of Android, Android 8.0. But on top of that, of course, they also have their own UI called FunTouch. Now I won't be using FunTouch, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but we do need to use it for now in order to set up the device. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the, I guess that's called the OK button here. English. All right, and I can pick my region of English. So I'm actually going to stick with Hong Kong, but because I believe Hong Kong is actually the closest to North America or in Canada where I am. So go ahead and select that. And there's an agreement here. I'm going to go ahead and agree to that. From here, I'm going to go ahead and pick up, I'm going to set up my network here. All right, so I've got my password in here. I've connected to my ZAKnet. Hit next here. checking for updates. So it's just going to check for updates. You can see this full display here. There is no notch, although they've got a little bit of a black bar along the top here. It's just colored in for now. And I'm going to go ahead and log in with my Google account. Once you put your Google account in, it's going to ask you for a backup. I'm not going to use any backups at all. I'm just going to set this up as a fresh device. So I'm going to say don't restore. And then of course you want to agree to all the Google terms of services and everything like that. Hit next. And it's going to walk you through the assistant setup here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Look at that full display. See that? No notch, nothing at all, just full display. A bit of a chin down here, which isn't a big deal. Once you've gone through the Google setup there and everything, you'll be set to this part right here where you set up the fingerprint and password. Once you've gone through all those settings there and you've put your 4-digit PIN in, you're going to get to this screen right here. It's going to ask you some security questions. You can change these questions. So for example, it's asking me, what was the name of your primary school? So you can go ahead and change this out to whatever question you want, and you give it whatever answer you want. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up for myself, and then we'll move on to the next screen. Now we're at the part where we're going to register our fingerprint. Again, the sensor for this phone is underneath the display right here. So I'm going to show you guys how this all sets up. We're going to put this on an angle here for you so you can see as I set this up. So as I push down, I can feel a bit of a vibration, and I just got to lift my finger and put it in different directions. You can see it's basically reading, and just really wild technology. I don't know if you guys can hear that vibration as it kind of reads. So, oh, it's telling me to reposition. Oh, doesn't like the way that is. There we go. So now it wants me to scan the edges, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. So now I would naturally be holding the phone like this, and I'll scan an edge like this with the scanning. And we're almost there. Okay, perfect. Now from here, I can pick my animation. So this is the default animation. There's that animation right there, circle animation. And then there's that animation, which is really wild. I really like that one. So I've had that one before on my Vivo X21. I used this one for a while, one of the other ones, and then this is probably my favorite. So I'm actually gonna go with this one right here. I'm gonna hit done. And again, you're asked permissions, gonna hit next. I'm not gonna import anything. Set this up as a fresh device. Congratulations, your phone has been set up. Use now. All right, perfect. So now we're completely loaded up here. I'm probably gonna get a bunch of notifications, emails and things like that. But you can see here, look at this full screen display. No notch, nothing at all. So I got all that free room up there, and away we go. Now, this UI is the Fun Touch UI. As you can see, it's very Apple-ish. I'm not a big fan of this, so I will be probably putting on my own separate launcher on here. I'm a big fan of Action Launcher, so I'll definitely set that up. But I want to show you guys the in-display fingerprint sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it here. And this part right here will basically light up once it senses, you know, picking up the phone, and just put your thumb on, and away you go. And if you look close here, you cannot see where that is. So I'm going to give you guys a nice close-up view here. So there's a sensor. Boom. Let's do that again. Okay. Just like that. Nothing on the back. Looks absolutely gorgeous. It is a glass back here. So yeah, that's my the initial unboxing, and my impressions are wow. There's a 4,000 milliamp battery in here. Got some good weight to it. Compared to my Huawei right here, it does weigh a little bit more, but I don't mind that too much. I would rather have a thicker phone with a nice big battery than, you know, something with a small battery there. So yeah, there you guys go. Let's move on to the next part of this project that I'm working on. There you guys go. That's the Vivo Nex, specifically the S model. It has the in-display or under glass fingerprint sensor. My initial impressions are it's everything that I thought it would be. Now, one thing I didn't show you guys during the unboxing was the pop-up or elevating camera module. I want to show that to you guys now. So I want you guys to take a quick look here. I'm actually going to activate the module right now. And you can see it raises up here, and it goes down when I turn on the pop-up module, okay? I'm actually going to turn this around so you guys can see it. And yeah, you can see the module right there, and goes up and goes down. Okay, so that module right there is only supposed to come up when you're using apps that use a front-facing camera, facial recognition, taking selfies and things like that. There's been some controversy and people claiming that it's been coming up randomly and things like that. That is something I'm going to be testing out. So, and a lot of the reviews and things like that that I did watch in the last few weeks here, and basically since this phone was announced, a lot of people used this phone for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and kind of gave their review on it. Some people used it for 24 hours and gave a review. I'm a firm believer that you can't really give a review on a device or give your full impressions on something unless you really make it your daily device and you're using it 24/7 for a long period of time. So that's why this video here is a 60-day project that I'm gonna be doing with this phone right here. For the next 60 days, starting today, August 3rd, I'm gonna be putting my SIM card in here and using this phone 24/7. Now you may be asking yourself, what about the other phones that are coming out like the Note 9, the new Pixel phones, the new iPhones? I certainly will be picking those phones up and testing them, but this will be my go-to main device for the next 60 days. I'm really interested to see how well that this pop-up module holds up. There's been a lot of concern, a lot of people saying moving parts in a camera, you don't want to have that, things like that. I think that some of those concerns, while they may be valid, might be overblown a little bit. So I'm gonna be using this phone for the next 60 days without a case, completely naked, just like this, to see how that pop-up module works out. I want to see if it's coming out when it shouldn't be. I want to make sure that you know, everything's working great and use this as my daily device. Now, I will not be using the FunTouch UI on here. I will be loading on Action Launcher, like I told you guys earlier. I just find Action Launcher a lot better. It's very customizable, and let's be quite honest, the FunTouch UI on here it's terrible. So yeah, that's about it. So what do you guys think of the Vivo Nex S model here? Let me know your comments, your thoughts, and what do you think about me doing this 60-day project with this, really giving it a go? I want to know your thoughts. You guys can keep up to date with my progress on Twitter. Go ahead and follow me there. The link is down below for my Twitter. And yeah, I'll be posting pictures on Instagram and things like that. Anyway, I hope you guys found this content helpful. If you guys liked it, please leave a thumbs up. Think about hitting that subscribe button as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.